Okay, we'll set you up here the right way. Probably need to scrape this off. Let's go find something to do that with. Meantime, you can live here momentarily. Are these bolts the right length? No. Do I care? What does it look like? Are they permanent? Definitely not. Yeah, these aren't staying for long. Ooh, just realized I need to find something to plug off that hole. In due time, in due time. We're just mocking this up right now. Finished my coffee. Who needs screwdrivers? I've got bit drivers. Also, am I actually going to be able to get this off? That's the real question. Temporary radiator, go to temporary home. Yeah. Oh, the temporariness of this. It's awesome when you just don't care. Yeah. You know, I don't know if any of y'all out there have chickens, but they like to be loud and they don't listen when you tell them to be quiet. I never planned on having chickens, they just showed up. And since I'm, you know, still living with my folks, I decided to keep them. Come on. You know, this hose clamp says it's ideal right on it. I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and not judge me here. Don't judge me over here either. I'm definitely not proud of it, but it's in there. Both of them are. Now to put a plug in this, fill it up with some coolant. Maybe I ought to put all the header bolts in, you know, since those go into water. Probably help. And then we'll turn the electric water pump drive on and clean this block out. But first, a side quest to see if I can't fix my amp. Get in there. I got it fixed. Cool, clear water. Soap, soap. What is soap? It's gonna be a minute. You might want to grab a cup of coffee. All right, took a leak, and this is about done. Y'all didn't think I was actually gonna make you watch the whole thing, did you? Now to just add more. Yippee! Look at that. All right, that's certainly enough for what I'm doing here. Now to just go get my battery out of the satellite. And we'll run this electric water pump drive, try to clean this block out. Power's on. Which switch do I choose? Oh, that one says fuel pump, that one says fans, maybe this one says lights. Wait a minute. None of those are right anymore. Yep, only I know what any of these do. And for water pump, right there. There she is doing her thing. We're a little leaky, but I knew we would be. I just wanted to see her move some coolant. No unexplained leaks yet. Maybe I need to go get some more water. Give this thing a little more to chooch through. Now that's a stance. Too bad there's not actually rear end in this thing to, you know, bolt those wheels to. These are an older set of Weld Pro Stars from 1997 with a set of Mickey Thompson ET drags in a 26x1015. I've had these tires for about 2.5, 3 years now, and I've never actually run them. So now, these are the wheels and tires that I plan to use on this car once I get it going. As you can see, there's no rear end in this thing. I pulled it out for mock-up purposes. So got my handy dandy tape measure here. I have measured across. I'll show you how I did that. Just like so. I took the tape measure, hooked it into the outside of the wheel over there. Whenever I push this tire in a little bit, I come up with 60 5/8 inches across. Now, of course, with the way that I measured this, I have to account for the thickness of the wheel. So the wheels are 1 3/8 thick at the flange. If the wheels end up where they're at right now, the rear end needs to be 57.875 inches across, 57 7/8, rounded up to 58. Now, one thing I could do is make it 57.5. I could even make it 57 and, you know, use some real thin spacers to put the wheels exactly where I need them. And that may be what I do. I may just go with a 57-inch wide rear end and call it good. But anyway, time to go put these back in the shop, get them out of the cold. Remember, if you're cold, they're cold. Bring your slicks indoors. Do you like the cold granite? I'll take that as a no. Why February? Why do you keep having to make it snow? At the very least, this isn't as much as January. Black coffee. And look at that, we got some extra parts here. Oh, poor Scamp, it's been so long since I touched you. So some of y'all may have noticed this hokey pokey business here. Well, I'm hoping to replace it with this. We'll see if I can make this work. I'm hoping for it to be at this sort of angle, but you know, it all depends on if my fuel line will work for this. As I just can't win for losing right now. It's single digits out here. I'm not getting any progress done. Random dog, what are you doing here? You know, maybe I can get some work done on this rear end, but honestly, I don't know. I'd like to clean this thing up, get this intersection over there all pulled apart. Random dog, you're still here. Eventually, I do need to get this truck going, so that way I can get my car to the No Name Nationals. Random dog, you're still here. Yeah, needless to say right now, things are going a little slow. It's really freaking cold out here. I did get that fuel system put together though, but I'm gonna wait to show you until it's warm out. In the meantime, I guess I'm gonna pet the neighbor's dog. Hey, would you look at that? It's the next day. We're actually getting up into the high 20s. Man, I never thought that 27, 28 would feel so dang warm. What you doing down there, buddy? Hey, would you look at that, a fuel line that actually works. Now through here, it does go through the fender. I'm not exactly proud of that, but you know, at the very least it goes to a hard line right there. Hard line continues underneath the car and reaches all the way to the back where it comes to another fuel line. And this fuel line runs all the way up to the fuel pump, which is mounted right here. Now, am I saying that this is perfect? No, this is just where the fuel pump was already mounted at previously. So I just kind of reused the placement. This old line back here is old line that was already on the car. I'm going to be replacing my fuel cell with a different style. So I'm not going to be using whatever fuel line I would end up making to go from there to here. Now, one thing you'll note, a lot of the undercoating has gone off of here. There is some stuff up here that I missed, but it was getting dark when I was doing that. Now you'll notice it kind of stopped over here next to the fuel hose. That's because I was using fire to clean this all up. Get rid of my bump stops, saving some extra weight. Hey, there's a little bit more that's gone. You can see transition there. We're not going to talk about where the frame's compromised. Hey, look at that little piece of trash. It was right there on the leaf spring. Yeah, you can't tell me this pile of undercoating doesn't weigh anything. Now, y'all are probably wondering what in the world I used for fuel line that is hose clamped. Well, I picked an Uncle Tony trick. Yeah, I used water supply line. Dog, why are you bothering me? You're stinky. Call you Puppy Le Pew. So the water supply line that I picked was actually for use in some sort of dryer application, water steamer, I forget what the box said. But hey, you know what? It's a braided hose. It is indeed Teflon, so that way it will be water resistant. I do recommend using a heat gun before you try to slip this on anything, because that hose on the inside is very, very hard. You heat it up with the heat gun a little bit, gets real malleable, slips right over, hose clamp it down. That's gonna be a nice tight fit. This little piece of hose right here is the last little section I have that's uncut from my kit that I bought. You just knock those ends off, wrap it with some masking tape, knock those ends off with a flap wheel on either side. Boom, goes right on. I'm gonna use this little piece on my satellite to, replace some of that rubber hose. Hey, look at this. My backdrop's the 9-inch that I am planning on sending off to get narrowed just later today, as long as the guy's available to drop it off. I called him up a couple days ago, and what do you know? He was about to head off to the vet. I guess the guy really likes dogs. I think that's what he had. I know he posts that kind of stuff to his Facebook all the time. But anyway, I'm gonna get this thing sent off, get it narrowed up, and well, I guess we'll catch that on the next video. For now, I'm calling this quits. Hope you all enjoyed.